Warren Cox with Shine Brighter Leadership. Today we're going to talk about confidence. Are you truly confident, or do you know what true confidence really is? So there are two types of confidence. There are external confidence, that's the confidence that you project, and then there's internal. That's the confidence that you feel that's inside of you as well, right? One type of way that we show confidence is through our body language. Always have a relaxed body language. Spread yourself out, feel comfortable, have your arm kind of dangled across a chair. If you're on doors, lean onto the wall, lean against a pedestal or something like that, right? Sit asymmetrically, move kind of freely in any environment. A lot of the people that I've followed, or when I've been in homes I've seen be very successful, there are ones that almost made the home theirs. Like, they're very free in the environment. I remember watching a guy just kind of walk in and he's like, where's the closest table? Walks right around the corner, right through their living room, like right to a table, like it was nothing, right? But not saying do that, but move freely in an environment. When you feel comfortable with it, you can move freely. It helps show confidence. It helps show confidence through your body language. Lean back in your chair. It kind of makes people want to win you over, even in uncomfortable situations. If people are bringing objections at you, or coming at you hard, or a lot of concerns, if you can lean back in your chair and kind of be a little bit, at ease, it makes them almost want to please you. Like, hey, I want to please this person. Why is he so comfortable with how I'm approaching it, right? Especially in uncomfortable situations. Signifies ownership, leadership, and it helps others to feel relaxed, as well as making you feel comfortable. So make sure you really start to take some lessons. You take that extra mile to get into body language and good practices on how you can really relate to your customers. We speak more with our body than we actually do with our speech, right? People focus more on our body language a lot of times than they even do on what we're actually saying. Remember that. Another good way to show confidence is have selective eye contact. It's one of those things, if you're trying to please somebody, you want somebody to like you, you don't want to stare at them constantly all the time. It's just kind of weird, it's awkward. If you're staring at them with everything you say, it's going to seem uncomfortable to them, like you're trying to please them too much. Make limited eye contact, almost as if you are kind of uninterested a little bit, not in a rude way, but if you're sitting or standing across someone like this, it almost makes you want to win them over. Be selective when making eye contact. Use very sharp or narrowing eyes when wanting to point out or put emphasis on certain topics that you really want the homeowner to be aware of, or the person to be aware of, to get your point across. Don't do this stuff with the intention of ignoring someone or to be cool, right? But do it rather to get full attention on the points that you want and that you really want the person to hear and to get across to them. So here are a couple things that you don't do, what you don't want to do. Don't be non-reactive. Don't be reactive, right? No fidgeting around, no tapping your finger or legs. I know it's really hard, or tapping your fingers. It's very hard for me not to do that. I'm just naturally kind of tap my leg. You'll see me doing that a lot, but it's very uncomfortable in a sales or a negotiation situation. It's one of the hardest things to master, body language. Don't be emotional or dramatic. I remember several months ago, we were doing a boot camp, and one of the guys was doing his final pitch for the week and was presenting his pitch. And I can't remember exactly what the words were, but he goes, "Oh, and the savings." And it was just almost unbelievable that even the way we trained, and after a week of trying to learn it, that he was still trying to show the emotion and dramatizing everything. So don't be dramatic with it. If you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. Even if you make a mistake, we all do. Don't end up making things worse by being dramatic and really harping on it and weighing on it too much, right? It shows you are not pressured by the situation or circumstances. It makes you also seem much more powerful, and it helps keep others calm. It inspires others for resolve as well. So make sure you're non-reactive. Don't be very non-reactive, and don't be very fidgety. Make sure you're non-emotional or very reactive when people have concerns or questions, or when you make errors. It happens to all of us. One of the biggest ways to show confidence, especially in a consultation or on doors in a first meeting or negotiation, is to slow down. Slow down when reacting to people's questions or concerns or their responses. Slow down when you're speaking, etc. People, when you get nervous, you really tend to speed things up quite a bit. You want to get everything you know out, especially if you're new. But make sure you just kind of pause, slow it down. This gives you time to think, to respond, to resolve, and assess how to handle the situation the best. Time feels faster when you are stressed. Most people rush and give themselves 30% less time to respond than they give others in uncomfortable or pressure situations. So if you're in a stress situation or you feel a little disoriented, don't know the answer to a question or something you have to think about, just pause, take a breather, take your time to respond, and best assess the way that you're going to resolve that situation. One thing you're really going to want to do, especially if you're new into sales, is you're going to want to try to convince others. Do not try to convince others. No matter what you're really selling or what you're in, you don't want to go too far to try to convince others or sell them something, right? What we have is pretty amazing. It's more of an educational thing, especially in nowadays climate, right? Frame yourself as an equal partner. Don't try to convince other people. Screen them just kind of as they're screening you. You know, there's a lot of things that were required for people to go solar that we require. So kind of screen them just as they're screening you. Don't waste your time with tire kickers. We say that over and over again, but don't waste your time. If you know somebody doesn't have the capability to go solar, you know, let them know that you can't do it, that you might not be the best option for them, and move along. Don't waste your time or theirs. It's much better to share your interests, but walk away if that is not reciprocated. If you're passionate about solar, if you show them what it looks like on their home, if you believe that it's a wonderful, great thing for them and it's an amazing deal and they're financially, it's just a better option for them, and they're not reciprocating that, sometimes it's better to walk away than to really push and try to push them into something that they possibly might not want or will cancel later, that might cause you time later. You know, a lot of times if that passion or whatever it is that you're presenting isn't reciprocated, sometimes it's better to just walk away and not focus any more time or emotion on that. We also associate people that like us too much, if you know what I mean. We always say, have that friend that just wants to be around all the time or just likes you too much, just praises everything you do. We'll associate with people like that, but not a lot. That's not somebody that's the first person you're inviting to the party or out to eat with you, you know, that is just always tooting your horn or just likes you too much. We associate with people like that, but normally we don't spend a lot of our time with that. So kind of think about that when you're in your sales presentation or whatever you're negotiating there in your close. Make sure you think about that, right? Don't be that person that's just, oh, I love this so much about you. Oh, I love your couch so much. Oh, your TV's the biggest and the best I've ever seen. Oh, your haircut's so amazing. These are things that are just going to kind of push them away more so than draw them to liking you and wanting to do business with you. And the final and the best is the internal confidence. You'll know it when you really ingrain that. You'll feel it. And that truly is the belief that you will be okay in any situation, right? No longer has fear of what will happen in situations by throwing themselves into this situation repeatedly. It helps the people around you feel more confident, relaxed, and want you to like them, right? They ask you to do business with them. This is that internal confidence. You've been thrown in these situations over and over again. This is something that a lot of times just takes time. It takes a lot of experience. It takes a lot of, you know, facing that fear, facing that rejection over and over again, and building and working hard to learn how to overcome these things. It's that internal knowledge that you're going to be okay in any situation, whether it's a sale, a credit fail, or somebody that didn't sign, right? It's going to help the people around you feel more confident, more relaxed, and they're going to want to do more business with you. Become comfortable with the uncomfortable. It brings the ultimate power in any situation. Just recently, I was out lobster diving. It was very uncomfortable for me. I've been snorkeling many a times. It was one of those days where the current was ripping, the water was maybe 5-foot visibility. It was very, very scary for me to do. Shark infested waters, and you're carrying around a bag of lobster. Sometimes facing that fear will really help you overcome it, and we did it multiple times after that. Every time it was easier, every time it was more fun, and every time I got more lobster, right? It brings the ultimate power, the deepest and of all the hardest to master is that internal confidence. You cannot fake it. It's something you cannot fake it. It's just something that must be built and earned over time. Hope this helps. Hope this brings a little value to you, adds a little more confidence in you. Remember, it takes time, it takes work, it takes effort to be able to become confident, not just externally, but more important, keep working and grinding to get that internal confidence that you know you're going to be okay in any situation. I hope this helps. Make sure you shine brighter.